Guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and welcome to a spoiler review for Alien Romulus. If you have not seen the movie, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you watching this video? I appreciate the support. Go watch my spoiler-free review. Go watch the movie, then come back and watch this. W the
Get out, get
yeah.
out, get out.
We don't want you here. We don't want you non-alien supporters here. No, we will stay around, but go see the movie first. No, got a cherry lime Sprite. Never thought that would be actually good. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, I
So,
bet that's really good.
um, this was a movie I was been really looking forward to. I really like the Alien franchise. Alien is like probably my favorite horror film of all time, and next Aliens is my favorite action film of all time. I do say Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time, but it's not really an action movie. So like there's different categories. So favorite movie of all time, favorite action movie of all time, and favorite horror film of all time. So
Is
now,
Alien One even a horror movie?
yeah, it's a horror film.
Mm, I think it's just sci-fi thriller, bro.
It's a sci-fi horror.
Nah,
There's a
it's
monster in
sci-fi
it.
thriller. Nah, nah.
Alien Isolation is horror.
Mm, it's like a sci-fi mystery. Yeah.
What game did you play? It's not a mystery when you know going in what's about. A mystery is more like the acolyte and deciding, trying to figure out how the fuck Plagueis created Anakin off of
Oh,
witches.
spoilers, bro. Spoilers.
Anyway, guys, spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, click off, go check out my spoiler-free review, and then come back after you see the movie. We're gonna get into this. All right, so I don't. I guess let's just start from the beginning. I want to save the third act for later. We'll get into that whole entire thing, which if you guys haven't known, I wasn't really a big fan. So they know really pretty much my thoughts on certain things, but what did you think of the film before I guess we really dive into everything?
Yeah, yeah. Overall, it was like I was super excited. The trailers were really true to what the actual movie portrayed. I don't really watch trailers anymore.
That
Um,
first trailer was a banger. That's a 10
yeah,
out of
but
10
I was
trailer.
really excited for this movie, so I just couldn't help but click on all the trailers that I got recommended, or I saw them all in theaters too. So
See, I hate the third trailer. I really don't like that one because it gives a lot of stuff away.
yeah.
Like there's like the chest burster scene is in that trailer. I mean, I think it was in the first one, but there's even other stuff in the trailer and that's probably because there's not a lot of characters in the movie. So that means there's not a lot of death in the movie, and that causes a lot of issues. So I
But
feel
yeah,
like
even from the start, I really liked the premise. Like obviously, um, what was the main character's name? Rain.
yeah,
I
right.
thought her whole backstory was
I
pretty
f-
cool.
I love Andy.
Yeah,
That he's my favorite character in the
yeah,
whole.
and he was pretty cool.
He's a pretty
Uh,
cool guy. So I'm trying to figure out where we want to start. Did you notice? Well, did you notice right away at the beginning of the film that was the Nostromo, the ship from the very first ship, like the destruction of the ship from the first film, the station, the Nostromo, that Ripley was on at the beginning.
oh, they were recovering it. That's
Um,
what it was.
yeah. So apparently, the alien from the first film survived. It's that perfect of an organism that it can adapt to its environment, and it created itself. It's its cocoon. When I first saw the movie for the first time Thursday, I was like, did they make a clone out of it, and next like that clone started killing it? But no, they made it clear that like this is the original alien that started make fucking stuff up on the station, because they even showed the harpoon that Ripley shot at it. It was in it when they got a close up shot at it. So
Mhm.
that was pretty cool. And I kind of wish that we got that movie. That I wish like this movie was from the scientist point of view. I think that would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but also like those guys would have been really boring to watch. Like they
I
didn't
think you could have done it. I
at
think
all.
you could have done an interesting character arc with one of the scientists that they realized, hey, we fucked up. We need to
Yeah, maybe. I like this story a lot. Like they
No,
just
this is a
go,
good story too.
yeah.
And you could literally, and this could have been the sequel to that movie because you could have literally ended it off a cliffhanger, seeing like a big flashing light out of the window, and it's another ship coming in to dock in, and like boom, cut to black. Like, oh shit, recycle type of situation.
Oh, why don't you write it, bro?
I should better than fucking resurrection. Huh. Hinting at other stuff. So, um, I really don't like that. But so the movie opens up with rain on this. I forget the planet name. Is the planet named Jackson? Is that what they call? I think that's what they call it.
I don't
Whatever.
know. Also,
Um,
why does this planet just not rotate? Like, why can they not see
it
the sun?
it's just a planet that has a really dense atmosphere because of all the mining. So
Uh,
they can't see their sun. And it's just a terrible planet. So I don't know how to say the company's name. Is it Whaling on it? I don't know how to say the company's name of the whole
I don't
entire
know.
thing. They own it, and they also own the station where they were experiencing with xenomorphs. And uh Rain wants to get off this planet, so they take the opportunity to go off to the space station where they needed these sleeping pods, and that's kind of where the whole entire movie takes place. I like the setup a lot for this movie, and you know, they did it got you interest to care about Rain and uh Andy, but not really so much of the crew. You kind of cared about, I guess, the love interest a tiny bit. There was some form of love interest, but everyone else were kind of expendable, and there wasn't very many characters. So when a lot at this when everything started going hellwire, characters like you're basically down to three characters throughout the whole entire film, and nothing at some point kind of nothing happens. There is intense scenes. There's a lot of cool scenes, like, you know, they had to sneak through face huggers, and they had to change their temperature so then they can hide from the face huggers. I don't know if that's something that was ever explored in the other films about um that's how they track you. It's through like their like it's through thermal temperature. I don't think they ever touched on that, so I think that's something new for this film that was kind of cool. uh so there's stuff like that, but that only lasts for so long, and like the kills happen so quick that not a lot of the kills feel very satisfying. Now, I did like that
Mm,
acid kill. I really like that kill. That was a really cool
I
kill.
thought I thought all the kills were
Dude,
decently well put together.
everything in Covenant, and I Covenant is not really that good of a film, but Covenant's kills is more brutal than this film's kills. Like that, you
Yeah.
like the backburster from that movie, and next the one scene with the little mouth in the shower where it popped through the guy's
Oh,
head.
yeah.
That shit is
That was
more
intense.
that shit is more intense than whatever happens in this movie. And so
Yeah. But as far as like, I don't know, the atmosphere in this one just felt more
it
authentic.
was more
And
back to the first one where like you don't get to see a lot of the stuff. But even in the first one, the chest bursting scene with Kane, that's more traumatizing than the one in this movie, because this one it takes it a little bit more slightly realistic when it, you know, you do see the chest burster trying to break through a character's rib. I don't remember the character's name, and I never cared. She lasted like 2 minutes in the film.
I don't think it was ever mentioned.
Probably wasn't. And so, and it's like when it burst, it was kind of stuck in her, and like, you know, it's like like, so the practical effects was a little bit more realistic than what the first one was. But in the first one, when it just goes pops out, and it's like, oh fuck, that's, and next it ran off, and next it went into Spaceballs and it started dancing.
Yeah, I think
So
I would say the chest bursting scene, I would give it to Romulus, actually. I liked the realistic approach, and I thought breaking through the rib cage,
no, it was a cool
it
scene,
felt more grounded, and it like
but they
I think I
spoiled it in
would
the trailer.
script the scene. Like it wasn't like as like something just popped out of her stomach. Like it was building up to it. And I thought like the actual delivery was good. Like they didn't need to show any more than they need to because like it ripped out of her freaking chest.
Well, the problem I have,
I thought it was good.
the
I would
problem,
give a point to Romulus.
well, the problem I have with is I saw in the trailer. So it's like, oh, it's like if they're showing this in the trailer, that means they have something bigger to show. But the big stuff is what they showed in the trailer. And that's because there wasn't very many characters, so not a lot of deaths were really going around in the film. And and next, in my review, I mentioned like the way that they edit the film together kind of got on my nerves when it came to the kills. They would cut away quickly from the kills, like and some kills you couldn't even really see, like the boyfriend get
Yeah,
like it's a close up shot with the mouth going into his head, which you can see for a split second, and next it's like, oh, okay, it's over. And it's like I wish that they kind of like lingered on it or get or lit in the scene a little bit more and make it more graphic like it was in Covenant. I'm going to use Covenant as a big example because that movie's not very good, but the biggest positive of that movie is its kills. And that's mostly also because they had a lot of characters to kill off. This one, you had six characters, but one of them was an android. Which, speaking of androids, Ash makes is back in this film, but as like a different type of android. In this film, he's called Rook, and so they brought back. Well, the original actor is dead, so they digitally added him to the face of the android. At first, it looks off, like, and there's a couple scenes that looks off, but with him being an android, it kind of works out because it looks a little rubbery. His face looks a little rubbery, but when it comes with an android, you expect the android's face to be rubbery and look a little off. So it works kind of if you think about it that way, and that makes more sense than what the Flash director says when it's like, oh, well, that the CGI looks bad because it's meant to look that way. Do you remember that quote that he made? So,
it's an
um,
artistic design,
it was
It's
an it
supposed
was
to look that way. It's
it,
all subjective.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, um, I really like the facehugger scenes, like when the facehuggers started breaking out, like the one and the what makes those scenes really work is the soundtrack. The soundtrack for this movie is phenomenal. It's a
Mm.
really good soundtrack and I really like them running through the scene, through the hallways, and it's like dun, 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 dun. So it's like it's getting you pumped up. I really like that a lot. Um,
It was good. Yeah, I think going back to um the kills, it was definitely a little lackluster. I mean, I'm not gonna be disappointed by it because I
uh,
knew it was gonna be lackluster, but
I
it
just
was rated R, so I wish they showed it a little longer. Like
that's
it did feel PG-13. I was thinking about that when you mentioned it. It definitely leaned more towards a PG-13 audience.
if
So
it was the only reason why it's rated R is because of the two scenes. It was because of the acid scene, which I don't think we've ever seen an acid kill ever in one of the movies. And so it was really cool to see his like acid get on his hand. It started going through his arm, and like so you can see through his arm. His fingers started melting off. Next, at some point, it got on his chest, and his chest just literally exploded. So, and I didn't know what his goal was. It's like, I'm gonna stab this random
like, what
thing.
else are you gonna do, bro?
I don't
Like,
know.
just
He was an
let that
asshole.
thing
He was an
sit
asshole
there.
anyway. And so he
Bro,
like
that
you
the womb looking thing looked a little sus, bro.
yeah. Well, I mean, Alien from the beginning was always about sexual tension anyways. That's the like, from the art design of the ships and all of that. It, and the alien's head looks like a penis. It's literally is a penis. So,
I
um
don't know, bro. What kind of penis you got?
not a very big one, but I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I lost it.
Like there's always in one of these always one of these movies is that there's like this asshole character that you're rooting for to die. It was this one guy that was like the cousin of the love interest, and I was like, this dude sucks. And like, and he kind of just out of nowhere just decides to want to leave everyone behind, even his own brother, or not his brother, but his like cousin-ish. And it's like, really? It's like because you don't like this one android. Now it is explained that, he lost his mom in a mining accident because of an android's not wanting to save him. And actually, you can see some, and but they don't go really anywhere with that because our android makes a decision like that later. So you kind of expect the love interest to maybe turn on the android at some point. So like, there's these kind of like loose ends that they just kind of don't really do much with, and that's kind of like the where the film kind of falls with in the realm of moving the story forward. Um, and the pacing feels very quick in this movie.
Yeah, the pacing up until the last 30 minutes, I wasn't like thinking about it at all. I felt like it, like from leaving the planet to actually docking on the ship, it all felt really good and natural. And then yeah, right when they got to like the elevator and that elevator scene, just like I don't know, or
Uh,
like when they were trying to get into the elevator,
well,
I
the
feel like
pro
that's when it started to fall apart just a little bit.
well, the problem I have is that, as like as soon as they get onto the station, the movie just really speeds through a lot of stuff. Like, you only have one scene, really intense scene where you're trying to sneak back past face huggers, and next they start running away from the face huggers, and next they cut to where they need to be 2 seconds later. And it's like, can why is why can't the whole film try to be trying to get to this one section that they need to get to because one of their friends is over there and they want to save them? And next, maybe we like this movie needed more some sneaking around and like, trying to hide from the alien. And like instead of trying to rush into the aliens aspect, which still the aliens aspects were fun. I really like this Gravity Zero section of the film where
Yeah.
they introduced this pulse rifle. It's almost like a common like a mix type of. It's not the one from Aliens. It's like a hybrid version of it. That has this like automatic arm rests, and like I said, will help and will auto aim to the thing that you're aiming. And um and it was a cool scene. I really liked it. And they used the no gravity to make sure that the alien's blood, that is acid, not touch the ground because they're at the bottom of the ship. So then they would get sucked out if they would. And it was cool to see them try to maneuver around the acid. But I wish that one of them got hit by the acid to deal with the fact of like trying to maybe cover the acid up or something. But no, they kind of get scot free from that. But still a cool scene. Um, I guess we should talk about the Prometheus stuff. So they do mention Prometheus in this movie. They never mention events from Covenant. Well, they don't really mention the events from Prometheus, but the blood of the engineers is basically the xenomorph blood itself too that created the xenomorphs. So this black liquid goose that they extracted from the original xenomorph, that was from Alien, and next they, do some science stuff with it, science words or whatever, and it's like, and they're and this liquid can like make hybrids or something, and this is where we get into the resurrection stuff of the film, which I did not fucking like at all.
Yeah,
I
and I think this film could have gone one of two ways when they introduced that serum. I was like, okay, they're
was
either going to fully commit to this route and have that be like the main central part of it, or they're going to leave it for the end and just tease it and just like slightly tease a little bit. But they kind of did a mix of both that I didn't like.
what
They
so
had like the main climax felt like defeating all those aliens with the guns or all the xenomorphs with the gun, and then they got to the end and then like, oh, she injected herself with the
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, so you have a pregnant lady in this movie who's, I think, played by Isabella. I forget her full name. She was in
oh
Madam Web, a better this is much better film. So
yeah,
she at
let's
least
just clarify. I want to make sure that we're saying this. This movie was great.
this
I
movie is better than
glad
Madam
to go
Web.
see this movie in theaters. Like Now we're just like we're getting to the nitty gritty. Like,
It's nitpicks. If anything,
yeah,
these are nitpicks. Besides the third act for me, that's not a nitpick. That's a problem because it's never a storyline I ever liked at
I
all.
still really liked it. I would say, yeah, this is a nit
Um,
for sure.
but so you have this pregnant lady at some point gets hurt, and the xeno because she gets like I guess she gets attacked. Well, she got attacked by the xenomorph early on in the film, and it takes her to the hive section, which they never implant a face hugger on her for some reason, and the express
She was too critical. She was losing too much blood.
which is BS. The face hugger's not going to care. The face hugger will put an alien in you anyways, and that's another thing. The aliens growth process in this film is really quick. While in the first one, it took hours. But here it's
Mhm.
like as soon as they like literally there's a character in the film that got the face hugger on her face. Like maybe 2 minutes later, they finally got it off of her.
Yeah.
And it's like it somehow already ingested whatever it needed to put in her. And so it's like that doesn't okay, whatever, movie logic, whatever. You need to get the film going. Okay. Um, so she but I find that but backtracking to the face hugger being on the pregnant lady, I just kind of just I don't buy that. I don't think that that's really like you can literally lose your legs and the face hugger will still latch to you.
Yeah.
Um, so so she's critically injured, and that gives her the reason to inject herself with this black liquid that they were carrying around with them this whole entire film
And
that she didn't
I'm
even know what it
yeah, my
was.
thought process was that like, yeah, she's really sick, but like she had already gotten confirmation from Andy, like when he was in that one like
That is true.
road.
Like
Well, he was like, yeah, if we hurry, then she'll make it. So like
yeah.
there's no reason for her to like start freaking out and be like, I have to inject this
Well,
weird
I was trying to
in her.
figure out
Like,
how does she know that this would actually help her, and I guess from that scene, he's like handed it, and she probably picks on the fact like, okay, this is some form in her head of medicine. But it's like
I guess, but
she's so out of it. I'm like, I don't think she could recognize. I don't even think she recognized that her brother died. So it's like there was no
he
even
was really out of it.
there wasn't really even a scene of them like like besides Rain, she was the only one that was having an emotional moment because of that. Nothing with the sister. I don't even think she realized that her brother's dead. I don't think she realized that she's dead.
I
So,
think
but
I think a better route that they could have gone, and I thought they were going to do
Is
this,
Rook
like she,
telling her like, "Hey, inject yourself with that; it will help you." Because he was manipulating everyone throughout the film anyway, so why not? And there was a computer screen that he's hacking all the computer screens anyways, and I think there was one in the elevator, and it's like he could have easily hacked that and told her like, "Hey, inject yourself with that; it will save your life." And really, he just is curious to see what it does.
yeah, I wish they would have waited to let her inject that when they're actually on the ship and they're safe. And then she's like just too critically injured to go to cryo sleep that they like have to make the decision to inject her or let her die. And like obviously they're not gonna let her die, so they choose to do that. And then things start to go south. I feel like that would have been a better route, but
I don't know.
they
Well,
chose to go more of the alien route with showing more xenomorphs, but I feel like this film would have been really cool if they had just focused a little bit on the xenomorphs, but then like they escape, and then like the last hour of the movie is just them
you
escaping.
really don't get a lot of xenomorph in this movie. You don't.
Mm,
Like besides that one scene with the no gravity, that's the most xenomorphs that you're gonna get.
yeah, they do a mix of everything. Like they have a lot
But
of face huggers. They have a
yeah,
decent
the
amount
face huggers are
of
more the stars of the aliens in this movie,
yeah.
um, than the xenomorph itself. But the problem I have with so like you have two different endings. You have them fighting the xenomorphs and getting off the station, and now you think they're all cool, but now because she injected herself, that kind of just start all of a sudden just starts the second movie. That's like and that was getting all rushed through, and which they could have really saved for the second one if this one made a lot of money. If I it's gonna definitely probably make its money back. Um, they could have easily while they were going off to this another planet because of and that was like the whole point of this mission that they went on during that process you could have had this second ending or whatever be that second movie. And next maybe they fail at the end or whatever, or it's by the time they try to defeat it, they crash landed on that planet, letting loose of this hybrid alien that was created onto that planet that's supposed to be peaceful and loving or whatever. Uh, I just don't like the design of this alien though. I really don't.
Yeah.
So we get
Yeah, I mean, you kind of confirmed my main point is like I wish they would have like committed one way where like they would have just saved that for a whole other movie. It just felt a little too fast. Like I was like, what is going on? But
But even
I,
and when this alien hybrid shows up on screen, everyone in the auditorium goes like, "What the fuck?" And people do that, and other people did that in my first showing too. And I wanted to kind of ask like people like, so what kind of like what the fuck moment was that to you? Like, what the fuck is this creepy or like what the fuck is this type of moment? I kind of wanted to know those people's thoughts on that. But so it's creepy, and I think this section of the movie could have worked in a different movie, like an Evil Dead movie or something, but not for an alien movie. And they should have really see if they want to do a hybrid, at least make it look cool instead of this elongated person that is like from a typical like your modern day horror film that we've been getting lately. It's literally a person from the ending of Smile. Like it's literally that same
that and
creature.
it also had like an uncanny resemblance to what do they call it? Nectomorph from the Dead Space games. Like
Yes.
that's why I was a little creeped out because I was like, that looks like a freaking
Well, that's
Nectomorph.
because Dead Space was inspired by Alien.
Yeah. So it was a cool
Now
crossover
Aliens.
technically.
Yeah.
And like I hope like they do a whole movie about this thing because it's terrifying.
But
Like
make a
that
cooler
WTF
design.
moment that you heard from the audience, it was a mix of both for me. I was like, what's going on? But I was also like, I was pretty scared. That
I
part, I don't know. That part didn't sit well with me. I was pretty scared.
I want a different design though, and I would have really appreciated more of the design from the Prometheus, cliffhanger with like the elongated triangle heads. Not really like xenomorph, but and it's like when the mouth is like it's like a different version of the xenomorph, really. Um,
I
I
liked more
I
human features with it. I think that
I just that doesn't speak
it's
alien
a
to
little
me.
bit. It doesn't have to be alien. Like it's mostly human gene anyway. Like why would it make sense that the
The,
xenomorph? I
the
mean, the xenomorph gene
xenomorph.
is the dominant gene, but like it doesn't make sense that it would completely change the physiological appearance of a human species.
I just wasn't real. Well, it just came off corny. And next, when I think of corny, I think of Resurrections. And next, I despise Resurrections so much. I do not, and whatever makes me think of Resurrections, I don't like because because Resurrection is a bad movie. It's not that hard to. It's not that hard to be like, you know what? I can do that. I can do that better. It's not that hard, but you can literally be dog shit and be slightly better. It felt like Ridley Scott really wanted that in there. I swear to God, this was probably his decision. Like, I want to do Alien Resurrections. I can do it better. I swear. You did, but not very much. You basically what you did. You jumped. This is what like so. It's like a track meet. Resurrection didn't make the first huddle. You jumped that first huddle, but then you tripped over the second one, so it doesn't matter. So like, good for
I'll
you.
do it even better the next time.
Yeah, I'll do it again. Watch. Let me remake Alien 3 for you guys. It's
Remastered.
yeah. The scene, like I guess we're talking about the hybrid, like the birthing scene of it was fucking gross. Like that was fucking brutal. Like
That
and
was a
our
little too graphic. I feel like that was pushing R, and I was not prepared for it because we hadn't really seen
well, because we don't
R rated.
we don't really see that part of a woman's body or never. So, it's like we're
What?
What?
What's happening, bro?
It's like, is that what it looks like with with no clothes on? Really? But yeah, I did like that scene is all cool. It just came down to the design for me, and it just didn't work. It really didn't.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it felt like one video game, like one real video game plot. They just tried to mash way too much together. Like I could tell that they were in the boardroom. They're like, oh, and then this will be great. And then like, dude, they would like inject a serum into the pregnant lady, and then she would like give birth to a human
Which
morph.
is just fucking gross. This is
And then
gross.
she's gonna turn off gravity and they're gonna like blow up all these people. Like it would be a really sick video game. I think it would make a way better video
Well,
game.
Dead
But
Space did it. The remake did it.
dude, the Dead Space remake video game,
It's gold.
top tier. It
Um,
took I had to like desensitize myself to it because it was so terrifying. But after like a
I had a
couple
lot of
quick
buggy
hours with
experience with that game though. I had a lot of
it,
bugs. Yeah.
I feel like I had like maybe one or two bugs, but overall, like, damn.
I like you have to go watch my gaming series then on it. Like I ran into so many different issues with that game. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff that I guess we could have talked about, but that's pretty much everything. The one thing that I guess that, well, it is literally just a copy and paste of Alien and mixed with some Aliens elements and next, storylines moved over from Prometheus injected into this one as well, which I like. I like Prometheus getting some acknowledgement because I really like Prometheus a lot. I think it's a movie that took risks. Now the movie kind of literally plays it safe. And so since you did, you're like, okay, this movie is really like the Force Awakens for the Alien franchise. Now it's time to take it to the next step and do something different and interesting. Just do not pull a Last Jedi. Do not. It's like they bring back Ripley somehow, and next they re-kill her again. Don't do that. So I had fun. I had a fun time with this movie, but I do want to see the story of of this universe move finally forward and maybe get some form of like Alien on Earth. I don't know. Now there is like this TV show coming out called Alien Earth, but that's more about like the company, the whaling company or whatever how you say the company's name and like the Sanic or like the androids or whatever. And there'll probably be some form of xenomorph in the show. Where would you want to see it go, I guess, story wise?
I don't know. I feel like they just revealed too much at the end. I feel like it would have been a perfect cutoff to just inject her with the serum, and then that would have given them so much time to think about what they wanted to do. But as far as what they can do now, uh, I don't really know. Like, I'm kind of stumped. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with this one.
No, they definitely did with the second ending. They really, really did. How would you rate the movie? Uh,
I mean, I would definitely give it an A. I loved it. I think it was definitely a well-deserved movie for the diehard fans, and I think hopefully the general audience will just want to go see this movie too. I think it definitely deserves to make a profit, so hopefully we see more of it.
yeah, my opinion really hasn't much changed. I like a lot of stuff. The third act really just hurts it a lot, and there's tiny little nitpicks there and then. Yeah. Anyway, guys, go check out Alien Romulus if you have not, and if you sat through this whole entire spoiler review, you are idiots without seeing the movie. What's wrong with you? Why would you like? There's people that do that, and I don't get it. I appreciate the watch time, but you need to watch the movie first. So, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining me. And like always, we'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.
You guys.